Welcome, everybody. We're going to get started in just a few seconds here. So if you're just joining us, welcome to the Compass project launch. And we are going to show you a couple of the run of show highlights. And please feel free to peruse it. In the meantime, if you are up for it, please drop in the chat your name, your organization, what city you're joining us from, and bonus marks if you know the traditional territories as well. So while we wait for everybody to log in, let's see where everybody's coming from. So I see Isabel Oliveira. Welcome, Isabel. And absolutely, just before people ask the question, will this get recorded? Yes, it will get recorded. And yes, you'll receive the materials after the event. Yeah, so there we go. Some folks joining us from all over Canada already. So Selena, hi Selena, Treaty 7, Medicine Hat, Tanya Wall, Dave Buckley from Calgary. There you go. Thanks, everybody. Yeah, if you're just joining us while we wait for everybody to log in, have a look at the chat, get familiar with the chat, and drop your name, organization, city, and traditional territory if you know it. And we'll get started in just a second. All right. Okay. So welcome. We are going to get the party started, as we like to say. We have lots and lots of registrants here, so we want to make sure that we're on time and have the ability to get you also out on time. So welcome. My name is Alina Turner. I am one of the co-founders at HelpSeeker Technologies, and I'm the host for today. You're not going to hear too much from me because it's all about the communities and our national partners today. But just by way of introduction, HelpSeeker is the lead partner on Compass, and we're a B Corp, social technology and innovation company that's headquartered in Calgary, so Treaty 7. So on that note, we want to welcome everybody. And across Turtle Island, as you can see, people are here from all over Canada. And I think with that in mind, acknowledging the territories you're coming from is super, super important to not just for today, but to the success of this project as well, because self-determination, sovereignty, and the United Nations Declaration of the Rights of Indigenous People, the calls of the TRC, they're all embedded in the Compass project fabric as well. And on that note, to get us started in a good way, Elder Doreen Spence of the Saddle Creek Nation and our elder in residence is going to kick us off with a prayer. Over to you, grandmother.
I'm very honored that I'm a small part of this circle of good work that you're doing at HelpSeekers. And all the meetings that I have been to, we always start off in a good way with the smudge to be able to get us into that space of the heart space. And I want to just say to everybody, it's an honor for me to be able to open up with prayer. And so I'll do it in my language and then I switch to English. Hauksina belkestiman dilkaksivatsien. Nenanaskum nenoskami uiskak nohtauinen. Dmagnaunan minan maskuatsun minan nisun. Dmagnau kikahiano akumaganak vistual quest the me paitse uksin nenanaskum nota. Great Spirit, ancestors, to the original source of all that exists, Creator, come before you to give you humble gratitude for the gift of life and for bringing us together in a good way. I'm asking blessings upon each person in this circle. I just pray for their loved ones and for our communities as a whole. These are challenging times in our country and right across the land, right across the globe. And we just ask that we come together and remind ourselves of why we're here upon the planet and to use these gifts and talents in a good way for the betterment of the whole. Want to pray for our communities that we service. Want to pray for all those people at HelpSeekers that are doing this good work. Just ask that these blessings and these good words will be felt throughout the land. Just ask for peace and harmony, and ask that our future generations will learn a lot from these times, that we will come together in unity with one heart, one mind, and one spirit to continue this good work forward. All my relations.
Thank you so much, Grandmother. Over to our good friend from CMHC, Debbie Stewart. And Debbie is the VP of Innovation and Partnerships with one of our first and most important national partners, the Canada Mortgage and Housing Corporation. And she will be introducing remarks from the Honorable Minister Hussein. So over to you, Debbie, and don't forget to unmute.
Thank you. Thanks, Alina, for the warm welcome. And thank you, Grandmother, for the wonderful opening prayers and helping us to ground and really remember why we're here. I'm joining you today from Ottawa, and those are the unceded territory of the Algonquin Anishinaabe people. And the Anishinaabe people have been caretakers of this land since time immemorial, and I'm grateful for that role and that I get to benefit from that work and that commitment to the lands. And I myself commit to caring for the lands as well, so that future generations of Anishinaabe people can enjoy the lands as well. So at CMHC, we set a very bold goal, which is that by 2030, everyone in Canada has a home that they can afford and that meets their needs. And we know that this is a big, bold challenge. And to get there, we really need to develop long-term innovative solutions. And we need to support innovations that are happening in the housing and the social sectors. And so that's why, as Vice President of Innovation and Partnerships at CMHC, I feel very privileged to have the opportunity to talk to you about how Dr. Alina Turner and Travis Turner as well, and their team at HelpSeeker continue to deliver outcomes that are aligned with our bold goal. And the work that my team does at CMHC, we've prioritized really working on solutions that will help those experiencing the greatest housing challenges. And so in doing that, we know it's not just about housing, it's also about social supports and people who are facing significant housing challenges. We really need to look at their needs within a broader context and ensure that those sorts of supports are available, that they're known, that they're understood, and that we understand how it connects to housing. And we also know that partnerships are critical, so we can just bring everyone together, bring the industry together, break down barriers and understand these challenges in more holistic ways. And we believe that that's the way that we're going to stimulate innovation and better outcomes. And this is the key reason that we're so proud to be supporting HelpSeeker's work on Compass, so digitizing Canada's social safety net. Compass will help us improve our understanding of the broad needs of people across Canada so that we can better design housing solutions, but also facilitate integration of social services within those housing solutions. And we really believe that Compass has the potential to transform service delivery and how we invest in supporting people experiencing housing challenges. And one of the strongest champions of the project that I know of is the Honorable Ahmed Hussein, the Minister of Housing, Diversity and Inclusion, and the Minister responsible for CMHC. Unfortunately, due to scheduling conflicts, Minister Hussein could not attend today's announcement. However, he did send along his greetings via a short video, and it is my pleasure to present it to you now. Thank you.
Hello everyone, bonjour tout le monde. I'm pleased to be joining you from Ottawa on the traditional territory of the Algonquin and Anishinaabe peoples. One of the challenges in serving the most vulnerable members of our community is enabling them to access the wraparound supports that they need. That is where the HelpSeeker Compass project comes in. Through this project, in partnership with the Government of Canada, we're pleased to identify the gaps that are needed to be identified in terms of the social sector supports that our most vulnerable citizens need. We're pleased to support this project through funding from the Canada Mortgage and Housing Corporation and Innovation, Science and Industry. Our government knows the importance of wraparound supports in enabling people who need to access safe and affordable housing to not just get by, but to actually succeed. As part of the National Housing Strategy, we know that this is the way to go in the future. Thank you for everything that you do, and we're happy to have you as our partners as we seek to ensure that each and every Canadian has a safe and affordable place to call home. Merci beaucoup.
So cool. Thank you. And we totally understand that the Honorable Minister Champagne, the Honorable Minister Hussein couldn't be here given the happenings happening across the country, especially in Ottawa. So we so appreciate the time that they both took to send their remarks. And we're also pleased to have the Minister of Innovation, Science and Industry send his regards as well. So Minister Champagne, he notes too that Compass exemplifies Canada's commitment to advancing social innovation through transformational digital technologies. Supporting the needs of our most vulnerable populations is critical to improving the health, well-being and safety of all Canadians. So thank you to the two ministers for their support and taking time out of their very, very hectic schedules to support this project. So with all this hype, what is this project all about? And let's see if you can guess what we might be getting up to. You saw a couple of the logos. You're probably wondering what's common to all of these partners and what are we endeavoring to accomplish here today. So the Compass project is really about developing a novel unifying technology to help underpin Canada's social safety net. And together with our alpha communities, which you're going to be hearing from today, those being the first to adopt and co-design this new digital platform, we're creating this new technology solution to transform and integrate social supports for a maximized and equitable outcome. So let's have a look at what we're trying to actually accomplish in practice to give you a better idea.
Canada is a great country to call home. Even so, life can still get difficult at times, and let's face it, we could all use a little help here and there. One of the largest aids to our country is a social safety net, having a robust network made up of over 250,000 services and benefits. However, one of the challenges is that Canadians don't always know what's out there or how to access it. Despite investing more than $380 billion every year, our communities struggle with rising homelessness, suicide, domestic violence, and trauma. The COVID pandemic has only accelerated these challenges. Like you, we believe in helping each other live healthier, happier lives. So this got us thinking. What if we designed a new system where every decision made was with the end user in mind, bridging the gap and time spent between users needing help and actually receiving it? By prioritizing the needs of the user, we can create an experience that makes information painlessly accessible, transparent, and ridiculously organized. We can pull all our efforts together and create access points that are easy to use, simple to navigate, and remarkably understandable. We see the end user being in full control of their help service journey. They choose when, where, and how they access help and share personal information. The improved user journey is complemented by a consistent, universal process where users are triaged to the appropriate resources no matter what their needs are. This drastically improves service quality, eliminating industry issues such as repetitive referrals, assessments, endless forms to fill out, and preventing users from repeating their story and needs over and over again. We envision a paradigm shift in which thousands of Canada's providers work together to meet community needs. Over the past 6 months, we've worked across organizations and end users to prototype immediate solutions to move us in this direction. One is a virtual a la carte service menu, much like a restaurant, but with social service providers, where users can effortlessly access specific services through comprehensive yet clear information that's easy to navigate and up to date. If desired, users could even anonymously share certain parts of their service history to be matched with more relevant options. Users can connect directly with service providers and select specific services rather than bundles they don't need. Users could also book appointments, enabling an increase in efficiency and speed for consent, eligibility, intake, assessment, and referral processes. We can integrate this solution with digital ID, which would be like writing your name in a form online, and within the blink of an eye, your information is already there and government verified. This can ensure service providers that you are who you say you are and confirms all the benefits you might be eligible for. Plus, you're in the driver's seat, controlling who you share your personal info with and how much you want them to see. From here, imagine making it plausible and efficient for service providers to communicate and collaborate with each other so they can all spend more time behind the scenes. We can create back-end information sharing and data collection processes while protecting personal information with best-in-class blockchain technology. Imagine being a policy or funding decision maker and having access to real-time information about community needs. Even better, to have potential solutions and action suggestions at your fingertips based on best practices. We can anticipate issues and optimize solutions using leading-edge machine learning and artificial intelligence tools. We can monitor outputs and gather user feedback to improve and enhance the service to maximize its effectiveness. Essentially, this will provide a way to tangibly measure the success of the services, to know what's working and what's not, and what we can do to serve people better. This new system transformation is something that has not been done to date, and implementing these concepts will reaffirm Canada as a social technology innovation leader. At the end of the day, it's all about ensuring resources are being used to deliver as much meaningful value to the users as possible. And that's a win for all parties involved. Canada, you deserve the best. Let's go get it.
Well, there, super simple to do, right? And none of this would be possible without our project partners. This is a collaborative endeavor, and while we might be the lead partner at HelpSeeker, the Compass project is much more than the sum of our parts. So to hear more about some of our core partners and funders in this project as well, I would like you to hear from a few of these folks. So I'm going to introduce them now, and then we're going to move around the virtual room and hear their remarks. So first up is going to be Bill Tam. He's the Digital Technology Supercluster co-founder and COO. Then we're going to have powerhouse Cheryl Reger from the University of Toronto, and she's the VP and Provost. And we were told very, very clearly from Dr. Mark Fox how lucky we are to have you. So thank you so much for joining us. And Bill, I know you had to rework a bunch of schedules to be here too. And last but not least, John Weigelt. I hope I said the German pronunciation okay. He's with Microsoft and Microsoft Canada National Technology Officer. So a big, big welcome to you all, and I'm going to hand it over to you, Bill, and then we can go to Cheryl and John next.
Thank you so much for the kind introduction, Alina. It's great to see everyone, and good morning. I'm very, very proud to be here today. This is a real testament to the collaboration of the team that's come together for this announcement. I'm joining you virtually from Vancouver, British Columbia, where I acknowledge I live, work, and learn on the unceded traditional land and ancestral territory of the Squamish, Musqueam, and Tsleil-Waututh nations. For those of you who may be learning about the digital supercluster the first time, perhaps I can share a little bit of our background and why investing in the Compass project was so important to us. The digital technology supercluster was created in 2018, really with the support of the Government of Canada, but as importantly, through the collaboration of research institutions, academia, industry, technology companies, and a wide array of different stakeholders to harness the power of data to transform the economy and to create a healthier, more sustainable and resilient future for the next generation of Canadians. We believe in the potential for Canada to lead and succeed in the digital world through a powerful combination of co-investment, cross-industry R&D collaboration, the creation of new IP, and ultimately digital talent development that's really supporting the needs of the next generation. With a portfolio now that tops over $350 million, much of which is actually industry investment, we're poised to lead with a portfolio of more than 80 projects and an ecosystem more than 1,000 organizations. These co-investments are building projects that make it possible to position Canada and Canadian SMEs in the leadership position in the transformation of the economy and to support our country's economic recovery. Starting with supporting the fight against COVID-19, but also building inclusive and equitable social systems and transitioning to clean, green economy and digitally transforming the health and natural resources sectors. We're mobilizing technology advancements to drive growth and prosperity for all Canadians. Again, I just want to sincerely thank the Government of Canada, the Government of Alberta, and the teams at HelpSeeker, Corsac Technologies, Microsoft, and University of Toronto Centre for Social Services Engineering for paving the pathway to a healthier and more inclusive Canada. Thank you very much.
Over to you, Cheryl.
Thank you very much, Alina. I'm absolutely delighted to be here today. And I'm here from Toronto, which is the traditional land of the Huron-Wendat, the Seneca, and the Mississaugas of the Credit. And it's just so wonderful to be here today. We at University of Toronto take enormous pride in being a hub where researchers from across disciplines engage with government, industry, and community partners to find effective solutions to really wicked problems that you're talking about today. And as our society gets more complex, stratified, and technologically advanced, our focus is on catalyzing human potential, ingenuity, inclusivity, and positive change through groundbreaking research, innovative teaching, and enriching partnerships. So the Compass Project that we're celebrating today is a real shining example of these values, and we are so very honored to be a part of it. My own research is in the area of social work, and as a result, I am very, very familiar with the challenges of social services delivery and how these challenges can have really deleterious effects on our communities, on families in our communities, and individuals. And as Provost of U of T, I'm really delighted to be part of an institution that invests in pioneering interdisciplinary research and leads to current thinking about the future of cities and how we're going to improve them. So this is perhaps nowhere better illustrated than in the research of our Center for Social Science Engineering led by Mark Fox. Through the Compass Project, Professor Fox and his team will bring their knowledge of applied ontologies, artificial intelligence, and machine learning to improve Canada's social services net. And their work will play a really vital role in bringing advanced technology to the development of individual service plans that meet the needs of clients, service providers, and policymakers. At a time when the pandemic has highlighted more than ever the cracks in our health and social service systems and the people that fall in them, this project will undoubtedly improve and save lives. So it's always exciting and meaningful for U of T to partner with industry, government, and social services in bringing research to life. And we're thrilled to be working alongside the Digital Technology Supercluster, Microsoft, CMHC, HelpSeeker Technologies, and the 3 alpha communities of Lethbridge, Edmonton, and Medicine Hat to bring about positive change. On behalf of University of Toronto, I want to thank our government partners, Minister Hussein and Minister Champagne, for their support in providing this project. We look forward to the future success that this will have for individuals in need.
Thank you so much, Cheryl. And over to you, John.
Thank you so much, and thanks so much for having me here today. I'm joining you from Ottawa on the territories of the Anishinaabe people. I think we can all agree that we're living in a changed world, a world that is confronted by historic health and economic crises, persistent issues of systemic racial injustice and inequity. Now, accelerated by COVID-19, rapid advances in technology are drastically reshaping how people live, work, and learn. And it's also changing how people seek assistance and ask for help. It's critical that we apply technology and innovations to address these challenges without sacrificing the core values like trust, privacy, transparency, and inclusion. There is a tremendous opportunity to imagine a future where we rethink about how Canadians access and social support here in Canada. At Microsoft, our mission is to empower every person on the planet to achieve more. We believe that to pursue our mission, we have both an enormous opportunity as well as a responsibility to ensure that the technology we create benefits everyone. This is precisely why we were so thrilled to be collaborating with the digital technologies superclusters, HelpSeeker, Corsac Technology, CMHC, U of T, and the communities on this Compass project. Through this collaboration, we're bringing world-class partners together and marrying the great minds with trusted Microsoft Cloud and AI technology to help tackle some of the biggest challenges that Canadians are facing today, which includes the accessibility of social services. We believe that technology can play a dedicated role in enhancing economic and social well-being by helping Canadians lead more stable and self-sufficient lives. We also believe that technology can and should be used for good. And our hope is that through this project, we can remove barriers for social services, unlock new opportunities for Canadians that support rapid recovery, inclusive growth, and lead to a better reimagined future. Thanks so much.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Bill, Cheryl, and John. Well said. And Compass is not real, of course, until it lives in community. It's just a concept and idea. So what's special about this project is that the platform that is being developed is co-designed and implemented in the living labs of Medicine Hat, Lethbridge, and Edmonton. And this is why the respective mayors are here, along with our cornerstone champion organizations, the Medicine Hat Community Housing Society, the City of Lethbridge, and Homeward Trust Edmonton. With HelpSeeker's home being in Calgary, we're also so pleased to have our very own Mayor Gondek, and she'll be joined by Honorable Mayor Clark, Mayor Higgins, and Mayor Sohi to share their remarks. But before I hand it over to Mayor Clark, I want to formally acknowledge three very specific people who championed Compass when it was just a concept and just a little idea or a kernel of an idea, and put their reputations, their energies, and their intellect to bring it to reality. So thank you, Marty Thompson. Thank you, Susan McGee, and thank you, Jamie Rogers. Now over to you, Mayor Clark.
Hello. Thank you for inviting me, and I'm so excited about your project and the opportunity to be part of it. I'm the mayor of Medicine Hat. Medicine Hat is situated on Treaty 7 territory and neighboring to Treaty 4 territory, and also the traditional homelands of the Métis Nation within Region 3. We're facing a lot of challenges, but it's so exciting that with these challenges comes the opportunity for so much innovation, and it almost out of necessity, we're able to make progress in a really positive way. And navigating the ongoing impacts of the pandemic is going to be one of the biggest challenges that we're going to face as a community, and that increased poverty and financial hardship, mental health and substance use challenges, social isolation, social networking disintegration are all going to be things that have lasting impacts. And this project is all about connecting people. And I think that's so important right now, that disconnection that we've all felt over the last 2 years. It has bubbled up in so many ways and is evident in so many ways. So just the fact that this is all about connection is so exciting. We also have changing demographics, and specifically an aging population here in Medicine Hat. And we need to make sure that our systems are sustainable and enduring. So I'm really thankful that you guys have taken the initiative and that the federal government is supporting it. And you have so many great industry partners who are all coming together to solve a problem. And that's what we need to be doing right now. Let's work the problem. Let's find the simplest thing we can do to make incremental progress and do that, pilot it and repeat. If it works, great. If it doesn't, try again. So I love what you're doing, and I'm just, again, so grateful that we get to be in Alpha City.
Thank you so much, Mayor Clark. And we will hand it over to Mayor Higgins from the city of Lethbridge.
Thank you, Lena, very much for this opportunity to participate in this campus project event. I'm mayor from Lethbridge, Alberta, traditional land of the Blackfoot people and home to the Métis Nation of Alberta, Region 3. And I really wanted to give a thank you to Grandma for opening this event with prayer. Every community across Canada is struggling to address the ever-increasing challenges relating to the social issues and community safety. Understanding the various roles and responsibilities relating to addressing social issues and where the funding comes from is definitely not straightforward. Whether it's the drug crisis, homelessness, or affordable housing, we know the social issues in our city are complex and that we have to come at these challenges from many different ways. Obviously, we'll continue to advocate for the resources we need. First, responding to a drug crisis, for example, is a very, very complex issue. The city is one partner in this response as we work to support the provincial government and agencies who provide the programs and services related to the addictions and mental health in our community. The vast majority of the social issues of our community experiences are not the mandate of the city of Lethbridge, but the government of Alberta through various ministries such as the Community and Social Services, Alberta Health, Mental Health and Addiction, Children's Services, Community and Social Services, Seniors and Housing, and others. Unlike many municipalities, the city of Lethbridge does not deliver social programs, manage, nor own any social affordable housing. Rather, the city has elected to play the backbone organizational role of convening, facilitating, and coordinating the social service community. The Community Social Development Department has primarily filled this role. Until 2021, 100% of the CSD business unit operational budget, labor and operations, was funded through a portion of the $10 million received from the Government of Alberta and Government of Canada grants. In mid-2021, the City of Lethbridge began the funding of approximately $200,000 per year to support the CSD business unit operations. Many municipalities design, develop, and deliver social programs using municipal employees. They leverage their social funding to hire staff to deliver social programs and manage housing portfolios. The City of Lethbridge business model is to allocate our funding to community service providers. This includes capital funding allocations for social and affordable housing. Therefore, a key role of CSD is administering the funding allocation process. As part of this process, it's critical that all funders work collaboratively to minimize duplication of services. This requires purposeful system-wide planning and integration of funding across the entire social service ecosystem to generate a collective impact. The city has a role of ensuring a clean and safe community, facilitating partnerships, and advocating other levels of government for the services needed. Although there is more work to do, much work has been done from city administration and city council to move this forward. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And I'm not sure if Mayor Gondik is live yet, but maybe what we'll do is move to Mayor Sohi and give her a couple more minutes to see if she can make it. So over to Mayor Sohi, and he's joining us by video.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Amarjit Sohi. I'm the Mayor of Edmonton. I'm so honored to be joining with my two former colleagues, Minister Champagne and Minister Hassan. So nice seeing you both, and also nice seeing other people who are joining us. I reside on TD6 territory, and I would like to thank the diverse Indigenous peoples whose ancestors' footsteps have marked this territory for centuries. I also acknowledge that this is Métis homeland and the home to one of the largest communities of Inuit south of 60th parallel. It is a welcoming place for all of us, people who come here from around the world to share Edmonton as a home. Some of you know that as a young man, I came to Edmonton for a new life and uncovered a passion for this city. I found a sense of belonging here. Even though I was not born here, Edmonton is my home and always will be. Edmonton is currently one of Canada's youngest cities. This affects how we plan for the future because we have to be ready and be able to serve thousands of more Edmontonians each year. It is very important that we do what we can to make sure everyone who lives here and moves here feels valued, welcomed, seen, and heard. This means tackling social issues such as houselessness, poverty, climate change, addictions, and mental health. We have taken some big steps, but we know that we need to keep moving forward. We all know that when we have good social structures in place, we can thrive together. We know we can't do this alone. And we really heavily rely on our partners and stakeholders to ensure we have the services in place to help everyone. We also rely on all orders of government to recognize that social and economic progress are connected. And we also rely on our local business leaders because our entrepreneurial community is a collaborative powerhouse that is constantly pushing boundaries. The number of local startup success stories we can probably boast about is constantly growing. We have invested in what we call our innovation ecosystem. The University of Alberta ranks third in the world for artificial intelligence research and have been a world leader in machine learning for years. We're also one of the only 3 hubs for artificial intelligence research in Canada. That is why adding Compass project to our city not only makes sense, but also revolutionizes the way our partners and agencies talk to one another. A city can only reach its full potential when everyone is included. When we create the conditions for people to easily and readily access what they need to thrive. We need to ask the right questions about what people need in their lives. We need to take steps to dismantle inequity and systemic racism to be an inclusive city, one that is welcoming and safe for everyone. The Compass project is going to help us do this by helping us understand the needs of our residents and where we might optimize and transform our social responses to advance equitable solutions. Whether it's getting income assistance or accessing food subsidies, the Compass project will be a powerful tool for removing barriers for so many people. It will improve impacts and outcomes for everyone by putting innovation to use in the service of public good. So I want to thank HelpSeeker Technologies for spearheading this project and for investing in Edmonton. Would also like to thank Digital Technology Supercluster, Microsoft, and Canada Mortgage and Housing Corporation for funding this project. Together, I know we can work on solutions on our social challenges to create a safe, vibrant, and healthy Canada. And thank you so much for including me in this announcement today.
Excellent. So I hear that Mayor Gondek is here as well, and I'd love to hand it over to her, and she's literally going to take us home because Calgary is HelpSeeker's headquarters, and this is our home, and I think it's just perfectly fitting that you have the last word in the mayoral roundtable. So over to you, Mayor Gondek.
Thanks so much. And I apologize. We were in the middle of a committee meeting. I just ran over here. Thanks for your patience, and congratulations everyone that's involved in today's announcement. On a personal note, I'm incredibly proud to see a Calgary firm, HelpSeeker Technologies, led by the visionary Dr. Alina Turner, at the core of the Compass project. This investment by the Digital Technology Supercluster that aims to create a social service safety net is incredibly important to all of us that are on this call and everyone that will be served. It examines 2 of the base challenges in our social service sector. First, an overworked group of caring individuals who dedicate their efforts to people experiencing vulnerabilities in a very unpredictable time, where needs are complex and they're layered. Secondly, the struggles of people who must navigate through a complex web of resources just to identify the assistance that they need. I recently met with a large number of social service providing agencies as part of a roundtable advisory initiative, and it was, quite frankly, heartbreaking, the issues that these organizations and the individuals who serve in them are facing. And there's an increased number of people requiring their services, as well as the intersectionality of the circumstances that people are finding themselves in. So it's become a very complex environment. One of the statements that came out of that meeting has stuck with me, and it was this: too essential to fail. And it's a fitting and factual statement. There are parts of our not-for-profit sector that are too essential to fail. And what I appreciate about today's announcement and the Compass Project is that it addresses how we keep those essential services from failing. There's a focus on the administrative overload, which is universally being carried by social service agencies. And this project seeks to leverage artificial intelligence to assist users in navigating social services, optimizing social service delivery, and improving decision-making. What we're seeing here is the application of technology to assist in breaking down the barriers for individuals and their families. And these are barriers that have historically prevented people from accessing much needed service. It's the type of innovation that we must both support and celebrate, because the problems that face our world are wicked, and we will need to rely on innovation and technology if we desire a just and equitable future for everyone. Wicked problems like the pandemic, exposing the vulnerability of an increasing number of individuals and their families. We have seen lives and livelihoods threatened by COVID, a situation which has worsened the mental health crisis. People and families who may have never before found themselves in positions of vulnerability have experienced new and very unfamiliar challenges, and they've encountered barriers to finding supports. At a very base level statement, a large proportion of our population right now is simply not okay. And municipalities are increasingly finding themselves in being in a position of having to help support and build resiliency for the communities that we serve. More than 80% of Albertans live in cities, and the challenges they face are often systemic and deeply rooted in flawed processes, like the severe and decades-long shortage of affordable housing in Calgary, an issue that contributes to the increasing number of unhoused citizens who struggle to find a safe and dignified place to consider home. We are seeing quite clearly at a community and municipal level that we have not achieved the resiliency that we need to weather the shocks and stressors that are increasingly and unexpectedly coming our way. While this will require individual focus and diligence, as well as support from all our organizations, it will also require courage to tackle systemic change around issues like racism and gender bias. It will require collaboration between municipalities and all orders of government, as well as committed social agencies, to ensure that we are stronger together in support of the communities that we serve. And it will require bold, system-wide solutions like the Compass Project. Thank you for the opportunity to be a part of today's announcement and panel discussion. And once again, a very big congratulations to everyone involved in this important project to build resiliency in the social service network, as well as all of our communities. Thank you.
Amazing. Thank you so much to the 4 mayors that participated today. It's absolutely amazing to see your support, and none of this stuff lives without the people that are going to be benefiting from it. So I think you being here is so important. So we do have some questions that have popped up, and we don't have too much time to take all of them, but I will take a couple of them. So one of them asked about how we might look at existing tools and other initiatives that might be looking at coordination in, for instance, the homeless serving sector, and how the Compass Project will integrate with initiatives like the coordinated access work in the homeless sector. There's lots, the Gateway Project is another example of coordination in other sectors. So lots and lots of work has emerged underway across different sectors that tries to coordinate access in a better way and streamline access to services and optimize service delivery. The challenge, of course, is that it's still done in silos. So homelessness, if you're experiencing homelessness, you have to go over here. If you're experiencing mental health, you have to go over there. If you're experiencing domestic violence, you have to go over here. And there isn't anything that's connecting the dots, right? So the dots might be really, really coordinated in and of themselves. And I'm not saying that they are, but there's attempts, but these dots are not connected. So somebody that might be experiencing these issues simultaneously still has to be on different lists for different services, rather than having a holistic experience and be able to be in the driver's seat of that experience. And that's what we're trying to accomplish here. So it's a complementary and integrative technology that takes and leverages all that work and just amplifies it to really put the person in the driver's seat of that user experience and journey. So let's see what else we have. There's some questions that are quite specific, like if we're working with the Alberta Treasury Branch's Social Progress Index project in Alberta. I'm going to say no, because I never heard of it before, but that sounds really cool, and we should be engaged in that as well. And one note too, that we will be looking at several different measures of well-being and social progress at the individual and community levels, and working directly with community members in the Alpha communities to help understand the current state of social challenges, particularly from this well-being, equity, and inclusion standpoint. And again, we're going to dive into this further, and this infrastructure that we're developing with Compass can most definitely support a systems approach and better meeting of the individual and family's needs. When is the technology available? So we are already in the development process, and as Cheryl referenced, the University of Toronto's team led by Dr. Mark Fox and our team at HelpSeeker and Igor Melnichuk's team at Corsac Technologies are already implementing the new ontology and taxonomy of social supports and needs. And so this foundational piece is already underway. And we're looking at kicking off in March with our Alpha communities, where there's going to be a series of product design labs so that folks that are going to be using the product get to experiment with the product. Rather than talking about it high level, we need to actually get people's hands dirty and tell us, does this button need to be over here or over there, and actually get them to run through different scenarios and use cases. So that's going to be kicking off in March. And there's more information about that on the Alpha communities landing pages as well. So part of this, and maybe we can flip to the next slide, because folks that might be interested in moving to Lethbridge, Medicine Hat, and Edmonton to experience what this is going to look like, or virtually monitor what's going to be happening in these communities. There's links that we're going to be sharing with everybody so that you can get involved. If you're a resident in one of these communities and want to get engaged in co-designing sessions, there's sessions for service providers. There's going to be sessions for decision makers. So people are involved in research and funding decisions and policy making decisions. And then there's going to be labs that are for people experiencing the social challenge from different segments of society as well, because somebody that's living in a coercive control situation that might be higher income and has a very, very different experience than somebody that doesn't even have a phone, right? So we need to understand what that user journey looks like, what those barriers to the technology might be. And on that note, that's one of the questions is, how do we manage the technology divide in society? And, while Compass is aiming at producing a platform, I'm not going to make promises that we're able to give everybody cell phones, but we will be looking at access opportunities. So partnerships with libraries and ensuring that access to smartphones and technologies is available in these communities. And we already know there's some amazing partnerships that are already emerging in the Alpha communities to ensure everybody has access to technology as a basic human rights issue nowadays. So another question is, what is our actual strategy to get our project embedded in community and our communities ready for this? So I'm wondering if maybe this is one of those good opportunities to put Susan and Jamie on the spot to reflect on what the appetite in community might be for an innovative approach to technology adoption. And if you're here and want to take this one, it's all yours, Jamie or Susan.
You want to go first, Jamie? We both came on at the same time.
Go for it.
Okay, I think it's really worth noting that the work that has happened in community around our efforts to end homelessness has really been shored up and reliant on, honestly, having a robust data system from the beginning. So a homeless management information system that has and can only get us so far. But from a community perspective, the value and the understanding of how data and being able to not only kind of in real time get the numbers that we may be able to share in terms of inflow and outflow and progress, but in the day-to-day and working with community members. So the orientation of that is, I think, already really well established. And this work is going to, I think, give us the opportunity to really expand that kind of work that we are doing and connect with others and really expand then our influence. So there is, I think I'd be sitting in a really different place if I was coming from it from the perspective of not having spent the last 15 years really building up an understanding and appreciation amongst the many organizations and frontline staff that every day are working with systems, and quite frankly, sometimes frustrated that those systems just don't do enough, that they don't connect us enough to other systems, and that we still are not overcoming. So this is like really, upping our game and an opportunity to do that. And so that's really what it will be built on, is that a community that, is already very committed to the fact that you can't solve a problem unless you really, really understand it. And Compass is going to greatly improve our ability to understand it.
So from a Medicine Hat perspective, our community is definitely ready for this. Medicine Hat, as you know, is innovator in using technology and systems planning to increase our systems, whether that's around homelessness or poverty work or overall community well-being. We were excited to be part of the Compass project and have a long-standing partnership with HelpSeeker and the work that they've done throughout the years. The incorporation of technology is something that I'm going to say the social sector and specifically in Medicine Hat, we have not optimized to the degree that we can. And as we do systems transformation and system planning well, it's really about that technological and the digitization of those service elements that we need to connect people to where we're actually going to see huge success here. Part of that relies really on, as Susan was saying, our work in ending homelessness over the last 15, 20 years. And more importantly, the lessons about where we were not maybe on the right path or trajectory with that in terms of meeting individuals' needs at a community level and how we actually integrate as a community from multiple systems and to look at the most beneficial outcomes of those systems for the community and more importantly, those individuals that are actually choosing to participate in those social services. So the data integrity, the ability for this data to inform and to integrate and to really look at what community needs versus what community is saying they want. And when I say community, I mean those that are actually utilizing the services and that are needing those services. And from a funding perspective, to really invest in those services that have demonstrated outcomes that people are wanting to engage with. So I think our community's viability and our want to see this project succeed going forward is huge. We have a lot as a community invested in this project. And I think the value to our community is really about the huge systems transformation work that is going to happen over the next 12 months and the actualization of that vision that we had many years ago to actually build systems and system elements that are actually meeting community need.
Thanks so much. I know there's lots more questions coming in, but I'm also conscious of everybody needing to get back to their day jobs, etc. So I want to really thank you so much, everybody, for being here. We have an incredible journey ahead of us. The project is kicking off with these alpha sites, but by no means is the end game to only stay in these alpha sites. These are called alphas because they're the test beds. This is going to be where we experiment, where we mess up, where we fail forward, and where we learn to take those learnings to the next community and the next community. So we encourage you to watch the journey, and we encourage you to keep us honest to the commitments that we've made to inclusion, to sovereignty, to trust and transparency, and to ensure that innovation is done for the greater good. So before I let everybody go, I want to give Marty Thompson the last word and give us your sense of what's next from a Lethbridge perspective and the excitement ahead from that community perspective, because ultimately this is going to live in community. Over to you, Marty.
Thank you, Dr. Turner, and all the folks on the line. As many people stated today, this is a wicked problem, and it truly is. And unlike many other industries, we have not leveraged technology and data to make really good decisions. I'm not saying good decisions haven't been made, but we simply haven't leveraged that unifying technology to do really good work. And so I'm really excited about this project, about using data and technology to make good decisions for our communities, how we can best use our dollars to get the best outcomes possible, how we can use technology to help those folks in need, to help the service providers, the funders, the different levels of government coordinate and work together to have a bigger impact. So again, this is not going to be a silver bullet. I love the fact that this is innovation. With innovation comes challenges, trial and error. And so I am just, I'm happy that HelpSeeker, Microsoft, and all the partners are coming together to tackle this wicked problem. So I'm excited about the future. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, everybody. We look forward to seeing you on this journey. And when Compass comes to your town next, hopefully you will all be that much further ahead. And thank you so much for all your support and your participation today. Have a great day, and we'll follow up with the materials from today as well. Thanks.